YouTube. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Today's reading is going to be a reading for Sagittarius, September 11th. Let's see what Sagittarius needs to know. That was crazy. You just couldn't see that, but that was crazy. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Hermit. That's Virgo energy. Knight of Wands. And a reverse Three of Swords. So there's definitely this energy here with the Knight of Wands and this reverse Three of Swords that you are very determined to move on. I feel like a lot of times when you go through a breakup, it can take even sometimes years to get over everything that happened in that breakup, because there's such a trust that you build up with somebody, and like betrayals or just realizing who that person really was when all the masks and the illusions come off is really scary. And it can be so hard when you're getting to know new people to not like hang on to some of that, you know what I mean? So there's definitely some of that energy here. But in the beginning of the reading, we have this Knight of Cups, which could be a new spark. It could be a crush. It could be someone who's just interested in you, but you're not necessarily ready. And then we have the Hermit. And because we have the Hermit here, and this is a major arcana card, this card is so pretty from this deck. I mean, she's like naked, but it's just the lighting and everything is pretty. Anyways, we have this Knight of Cups here. That's besides the point. We have the Knight of Cups here, and then we have the Hermit, which I'm sensing that there's someone who's very interested in you, but you're not necessarily ready, and you want to be ready. You're frustrated that you're not ready here with this Knight of Wands and this Three of Swords reversal. Sorry, my bulldog's in the background. Apparently has something to say about that. Is it like Thursday, midweek? Okay, what else does Sagittarius need to know? We have the Queen of Cups, very abundant energy. And then we have the Hierophant here in a reversal, which could be unconventional thinking. And then we have the Sun. Okay, that's good. So we have the Queen of Cups, that's falling underneath that Knight of Cups, where I suspect there's someone who's interested in you. Maybe you're aware of it, maybe you're not, but you're not ready to go like all in with this person. You still have this Hermit energy, which is, you know, really keeping to yourself, some soul searching. You're still trying to figure your own stuff out. You're not necessarily ready. We have this Queen of Coins, which is an abundance card. So this person who likes you wants to give you like the world, like they think the best of you. And then we have this Hierophant here, and it's in a reversal. So we have two major arcana cards that are falling on top of each other. We have this Hermit card, and then we have this Hierophant, and this Hierophant's in a reversal. You're still trying to think, you know, what's best for you, and you haven't necessarily come to a conclusion on that. There's still some unresolved healing there, and that's where we're seeing this Hierophant in a reverse. Then we have the Knight of Wands. That's that desire to push forward, that desire to move on. You kind of want, you have this energy where you want to lean into temptation, but you still are hesitant because you feel like it's not quite right. And then we have this Ten of Cups here in a reversal, and that is really just concluding that message of the Knight of Wands, especially together, because we have a Wands card, which is all about actions, and you just not being really emotionally available yet. And then we have that Three of Swords. That's you recovering from heartache. You are in recovery mode. Your heart has healed a little bit, but you're not completely there yet. And then we have the Sun, this beautiful Leo energy, this happiness card. You want to feel that energy again. And that's why we're seeing those two on top of each other. You want to have that giddy spark again. What does Sagittarius need to know? Feared change. Yep, and we're seeing that Eight of Cups. This is in a reversal, and that is appearing along that same line of that person who's very interested in you. You don't want to move too fast. You're really liking how things are going, and I think this is common for Sagittarius, because I'm a Sagittarius, where you kind of get into your own groove of things. You get used to taking care of yourself, you get used to your day-to-day life, and when there's someone new coming in, it can be really exciting, but you don't really necessarily want to disrupt that sense of independence. That's the word I was looking for. You have this sense of independence. You don't want to rely on anyone. And I do see this is more than just independence. There is some trust issues, and we don't always want to just like completely bleed on someone who didn't cut us. You guys know what I mean by that. What does Sagittarius need to know? We have a Page of Swords here. This is in a reversal. This is really interesting because this is falling on top of that Hierophant card that showed up here in a reversal, that Teacher card, and that's underneath the Hermit as well. So we have the Page of Swords here. This is a little bit disconnected. It could also result in a lot of overthinking, definitely up in our heads about things. Angels, guides, Sagittarius need to know. There it is, the Lovers. This is also really interesting. We have this Knight of Wands, which is your desire to move forward. You want to lean into this temptation. You want to give into that pressure. Then we have this 10 of Cups in a reversal, where you're not quite emotionally available yet. Underneath that, we have the Lovers. That is that desire for that connection, that giddy feeling. I mean, who knows? Maybe this new connection could just be a one-night stand. But I'm sensing there's more to it than that. You're kind of scared to even get any feelings involved, because you might be someone who, when you fall pretty hard. And this chaotic force, we have the Knight of Swords now here in a reversal. And that's underneath that 3 of Swords. You are so scared to let your guard down and feel this happiness with this new person, because you know at the flick of a second it could get taken away, because I'm sensing that something that's happened to you before, where you leaned all in, you allowed that happiness. That's why they call young love like the best love, like young love. Oh my gosh, because you don't have all that trauma from all these other people who just like screwed you over and made a mess of things. It can be so hard to get over. And then when you go into a new relationship with a brand new person, you're so excited, but then they do one little thing that triggers all of these other painful memories that somebody else did. It's not even their fault, and you're just taking it out on them. Okay, disaster. Okay, let's pull an oracle card. I love these cards. Unconditional loving, giving, receiving, affection, falling in love. I think that might be backwards for you guys, but again, unconditional loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. This is an oracle card. This is a message from the spirits, and they're just kind of concluding that it's okay to lean into this a little bit. You can definitely have your boundaries along the way. You can definitely communicate. Let's see what this other oracle card says. Look at the bigger picture. You don't want to stay stuck in that Hermit energy for far too long, because you could miss an opportunity with someone great. I think it's best to just go into these things being very honest, and we're seeing that with a couple of these cards here, especially this Page of Swords in reversal, where you're kind of disconnected. Maybe you don't want to open up too much, but I think just be really honest about where you're at in your healing journey, and you might be surprised. Maybe they're on their own healing journey as well. They might be a lot more understanding than you would think. As always, guys, please like and subscribe. It helps me a lot. If there's a sign that you would like me to start doing, please comment it below. These are the little candles that I hand make. These ones are unscented, but I do have a love spell candle on there, and it is scented with the smell of dragon's blood. And these pink love candles will help you manifest either self-love, or it will help you manifest a connection with someone that you desire. Please like, please subscribe, and visit Sagittario.com to see those candles.